Ben is saying, why does it seem that wearing a kilt to show your heritage seems to be more of an American tradition than a Scottish one? Is that a perception thing, or is that...
It's a little bit his perception. It's a little bit correctish.
Okay.
There's an old saying, I'm paraphrasing, that kilts are worn by Americans in Scotland and by Scots in America. It's the general feeling of when you're in Scotland, Americans are trying to feel more Scottish, trying to connect with their roots, and the Scottish people don't really wear kilts as daily wear. They kind of reserve them for formal occasions for the most part. And when Scots come to America, they're all of a sudden, they don't have any other connections to Scotland, so they want to break out their kilt. They want to talk in their accent. They want to tell people about how awesome Scotland is because it's freaking awesome. So that's kind of where that saying came from. That being said, in America, where I'm very much, believe in the salad bowl or the mixing, or tossed salad, thing, not the melting pot. So There's a lot of cultures in America, and they're all each individually, different flavors, which is really, really cool. So it's the fact that you can have a strong Celtic community, a strong Latino community, a strong Black community, and all be experiencing their own cultures, and then kind of cross-pollinating a little bit, and like the salad dressing, just kind of, mixing up the flavors. So I love the fact that, when we go to Celtic festivals, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania has a huge one. There's a ton of Puerto Ricans and Latinos in that area, and they come out to the festival, and a lot of them have kilts, and it's awesome because they're just enjoying the culture for what it is. And that's the part of this that's, to me, that's really cool, is that you don't just have to be Scottish to enjoy the entire culture. You don't have to just be Irish to like Guinness beer. Other people can enjoy it. That's the beauty of America to me. I don't know why I got all patriotic on that, but I'm feeling it. Where's the flag?
I think the I think you have something cool as a product of your culture when other people see it and just immediately are drawn to it.
Yeah,
I think that proves just how awesome a lot of this stuff is. Kilts specifically, but I would also say that if you're of Scottish or more broadly of a Gaelic heritage, there's a romance that you have if you're in the diaspora for the old country because you're not directly connected to it. And sometimes in modern society we feel a little bit lost. We feel like it's all commuting to work and getting your stuff at the grocery store and getting supplies at the mall or whatever. And where's the real heart?
Bombarded with the news. You want to connect to something,
right? So I think for a lot of anybody who's living in a diaspora and in modern society, they're more likely to want to have that connection full time and be able to just touch it and feel it. Just physically look down and say, "Yeah, I am part of this tribe. I'm part of this this great ancient tradition. And I am more than just this commute and this stress and this having to look at my phone every day and all kind of things. That I'm part of something that's timeless. Whereas if you're in Scotland, they're busy with all the stressy stuff too, and if they want to think about history, they just look up and there's a castle. It's kind of like Eddie Izzard used to say, I'm from Europe, where the history comes from. So it's and there's also, you don't want to necessarily be into what dad or grandpa's into. I think I learned this a lot, that in older cultures, they have more of a challenge sometimes getting younger people involved in this stuff, which is why Japan, for instance, launched the Living Treasures campaign many decades ago, because they realized that young people it wasn't cool, and they were too busy. So they need to try and make sure that the future generations were actually interested in preserving this stuff. So I think if you're in Scotland, you're kind of like, that's what grandpa does, or that's what you do for a wedding. But then once you don't value something until you lose it, in a way. So I think, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, you're more Scottish when you leave Scotland because,
I would say that is true for certain things, not all things.
I agree.
If you're talking about...
I'm full of Iron Brew and talking out of my butt, so, it's...
No.
That was a great answer.
If you're talking,
that was a phenomenal answer.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about Ireland, for instance, like the music is very much alive.
This is true.
Traditional session music in the pubs is very much still practiced.
In Scotland too. In Glasgow, they have a huge, really cool session music scene. So
it depends on the individual culture and the location and all that kind of stuff. I know what you're saying, but it's not a blanket statement. I'm trying to add nuance to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tell us what you think. Hey, everybody. So what is your favorite media platform? YouTube? Facebook? Instagram? As a matter of fact, USA Kilts is on all of those. So do us a favor and check out all the platforms that are the most important to you, and make sure you subscribe to us. We're trying to put out content that you're going to enjoy, and want to make it as comfortable and easy and fun as possible. And as always, if you have suggestions, we want to hear from you. We want to make this a really great outlet for Celtic culture and kilt especially for everybody. Is that about right?
Yep.
Cool.